Hi everyone, it's Marissa Williams, and I'm going to pause up here at the top so you can get this full URL in case you want to come to this awesome little PDF here. So what this does is a music distribution comparison, and hopefully you got a good enough start on that. You can always go back. So there's different distributors out there, and they're not free. So when I publish a book, there's different ways I can publish for free, but when I publish music, it's not always the same way. Now, these comparisons are just audio, not video. And we'll talk about that in a different video, but music videos can be above and beyond the cost of just releasing a song audio. So when you release a song, when you distribute it, what these distributors do is they get them onto various websites that you and I might not be able to get onto any other way. Think of things like Apple Music. There's so many different websites, and to know which distributor is best to use, think of which website you are ultimately trying to get your music on. For example, let's pick on Apple Music. Say, oh, I really want my music there. Go on their preferred distributors page. They have a page of preferred distributors, and they'll tell you which ones they prefer to work with. One of the biggest out there is this one at the top. This is DistroKid. I hear really good things about this from everybody who uses it. I have an account here, but I've never pulled the trigger because there's one thing that makes me hesitate. And if we go over here, you can see the different things. Okay, so let's just go back here. So we got the distributor's name and the plan name, as well as the pricing. Very important things, right? We also get hidden add-on fees. That's very important to know. The number of artists they allow, because sometimes you might have a friend that you want to release with, and the amount of royalties you keep. The number of releases that they allow per year, because not everybody is unlimited. But this is the part that gets me right here. So if you cancel your subscription, your music is taken down unless you pay per release. Now the thing with DistroKid is they do have it up pretty much ASAP. As soon as you pay the money and whatnot, they get it out there. Support response time, several business days. Store providers, content ID, adding splits fee, adding collaborators or contributors. Some people charge for that stuff. Streaming analytics, does it charge? Pre-saving release page, custom release date, custom label. There's a lot of different things that they have in here to think about. And most people don't think about this when they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to put it on YouTube, or I'm just going to put it on social media. Well, if you really, really, really want to get your music out there, sometimes it actually costs money. So that's all the different cells that they have that you can compare all these different sites with. But let's look at some of these big names that they have on here. Again, DistroKid, very well known. The next one down is Amuse. And if you look on here, it says, you know, they only allow 12 releases per year on their start plan. But it takes 4 weeks for their songs to come out. So, you know, things like this, it's worth keeping in mind, right? If you pay extra, you know, you're looking at $24.99 a year for the Boost plan, $59.99 for the Pro plan. That allows you to have multiple artists, a little bit faster song release time with these guys. So all things to take into consideration. The next one down, TuneCore. I was actually very good friends with a press release agent who went to go work for TuneCore, so I've heard really good things about the company. She's been with them since they almost started, and she loves them. So definitely a good one to pay attention to. They do have a free pricing plan for new artists Rising artist is going to be $19.99 a year. Breakout artist $34.99. Professional $49.99. And then they have pay per release. And they do have that for singles as well as albums. Now, if we pop over into royalties, some of those plans you're only keeping 80%. Some of those plans you're keeping 100%. You know, so it's always important to look at how much money you're keeping in your pocket at the end of the day. Some people are fine with just keeping 80%. Some people are like, wait, you want to take 20% of my money? No. So again, you got to look at all the fine print at what you are signing up for. And again, if you cancel that subscription, is your music taken down? Yes. So again, things to keep in mind when you're looking at these distributors. Okay, so again, that's TuneCore. SoundCloud is a popular one. That one's $8.25 a month for unlimited releases. Again, they do take your music down if you cancel that subscription. CD Baby is another one. They were trying to compete with the big guys. So they have a pay per release for $9.99 for a standard single, $49.98 for a boost single, $9.99 for a standard album, $49.98 for a CBD boost album. And again, and when we're looking at the percent of royalties, they're taking 91%. So very interesting as we compare these. Route Note, they do have a free one. And then they have like an invitation only plan, right? Their free plan, you're only keeping 85%. So even less than the one before that was keeping 91%. So again, if you're looking at your total money, you know, it's always better to keep 100%. So is it worth paying for that premium? Sometimes it is. Note says the single is $10, EP's $20, albums $30, X albums $45, annual renewal of $10 basically, and so you're going to keep paying that. So Lander is the next one down, followed by Symphonic Distribution. Again, if you look at Symphonic Distribution, they do have an invite-only plan. So a lot of these distributors, once you get up to the major levels, it becomes invitation-only. And same thing with some of the videos. When you start doing the longer videos, a lot of those become invitation-only, meaning you have to make your way in the film circuit in some way, shape, or form to get them to know who you are, for them to invite you to be signed for their distribution. So, big thing to keep in mind. Lander, again, look at those percentages. You're talking 85% for their first basic levels until you jump up to that $23.99 a year and $89 a year. Then you can keep 100% of your money. So, Symphonic Distribution, you do keep 100%, but you're still paying $19.99 for the starter pack, and again, their partner pack is invitation only. So again, these are all good things to kind of keep in mind when you're looking at these. Too Lost, I'm not super familiar with, but it says it's $19.99 for an artist. A label's $35.99 a year. You do keep 100% of the royalties, and it does say your music does not get taken down when you cancel, but Start will receive 85% royalties instead of 100%. So they get you coming or going. So again, looking at these fine little details, very important when you're thinking of who you're going to partner with for distribution. And this is just music, not even music videos. Keep this in mind. AWOL, invitation only. You have to do something to get their attention. Level, $20 a year. You get 5 artists, and you do keep 100%, and they do take down your music if you cancel your subscription. Song Trader, they have a starter that's free, but their taking 20%, you're only keeping 80%, right? And you only get one free release. The light package, $19 a year. The pro package, $49 a year, which allows for multiple artists. 1 RPM is free. But again, look at those royalties. It's 85%. You're not keeping 100% of your royalties. They're keeping 15%. Sound drop, 99 cents per track. Again, look at that royalty, 85%. So they're keeping 15% of your royalties. Horus Music has 20 euros a year for an artist or 30 euros a year for a label. And you do get to keep 100% of your royalties, but there are some hidden add-on fees. So again, very important to look at those little add-on fees because sometimes they charge for different things. United Masters debut album is free, but they're keeping 10%. You're only putting 90% in your pocket, and you only get one release per month. It takes 10 days to get that song out. The Select Pack gives you unlimited releases, and it gets you faster song release time down to 2 days, as opposed to more than 10. Record Union, they have Top Dog, 1 to 2 tracks, $14 a year, 3 to 5 tracks, $17 a year, 6 to 12 tracks, $20 a year, 13 to 99 tracks, $1.50 per track per year. World Domination, 1 to 2 tracks, $19, 3 to 5 tracks, $24, 6 to 12 tracks, $29, 13 to 99 tracks, again, $1.50 per track per year. STEM Music, again, invitation only. So again, you have to do something to get their attention. Look at that percentage. They're keeping 10%. You're only pocketing 90%. So again, things like that, you gotta pay attention. Anti-Joy. Plus is $19.99 a year for 5 artists. Pro is $39.99 a year for 10 artists. Or label is $119.99 a year for more than 25 people. And again, they do cancel your subscription if you cancel that your music is taken down. It does take 2 to 5 days to get your song released. Ditto is another really good one. A lot of people like that. Artist is going to be 19 euros a year, pro 59 a year, label 89 a year. There are some hidden add-on fees where they'll try to get you to pay extra for different things, but you do keep 100% of your royalties. And again, if you cancel that subscription, they will take your music down. So these are big name ones that people are pretty familiar with. The next one, if you notice, it's in purple. These are smaller ones. And it's like not as many people are familiar with them. There's not as much information out there. So you just use them at your own risk. So we'll just look at some of the names of those. Audio Wonder, Label Engine, Dashgo, DigiD, Vidia, Fresh Tunes, Emu Bands, Lay Distribution, Fresh Rec, Proton Radio, Indie-Fi, Indie Massive, Music My Band, Catapult Distribution, HRDRV Distribution, Razor Distribution, and there were some other ones such as Spin Up and BeatStar Distribution, but both of those has since shut down. And that's the risk you run with some of the smaller ones. They can shut down. If they shut down, it's like your music's just cut off from that point. I have talked to bands over the years that thought they had a great deal with a great label. That label folds overnight and they are just out in the snow. Doesn't matter if they're in the middle of a tour. There was a band on Ozfest that had that happen to, and they were literally like signing autographs and doing what they could to sell whatever merch in the parking lot just to get enough gas to go to the next gig because their label folded. So again, you're better off going with a bigger name label, even if you have to allow them to keep some of your royalties or other things like that. So again, it's kind of look at the big picture. Not all distributors are created equal. So again, the ones in red, you know, use caution. The ones in green, a little bit more verified. Lots of people have used them, and there's a lot of information out there. This is just one example of a spreadsheet that is out there, but there are plenty of other ones where there's articles with side-by-side comparisons. If you're down to two, like say Ditto Music and CD Baby. Those two are, you know, maybe worth comparing side by side with like TuneCore and DistroKid. Those are probably the four that I'm probably the most familiar with. But again, do your research. A little research goes a long way. And when you're talking about releasing music to the world, sometimes you're better off doing these distributors because they do give you access to bigger sites than you would be able to get on your own. So I hope this helps for today, and have a good one, y'all.